Hello everybody in YouTube land, it's Chocolate Thunder here. I've been having some requests to show you how to make these books, and I came up with another idea for a book, so I thought I will share this experience with you guys so that you can do it yourself. So what we're going to be making today is a basic book. You can do it empty, you can do it with proper pages. I'll talk you through doing both. The only thing I've done before doing this tutorial is to age some of the pages with tea and hot water. So for this you are going to need your trusty Pirit stick. This is vital because it basically is the whole thing that's going to hold this thing together. You are going to need some brown paper. I'm just using an old envelope because heck, I like recycling. And then you need some cardboard. I'm using, funnily enough, the back of the envelope because why not? So you want it so that the card is thick, but not so thick that you're going to have problems with cutting it. That's the best way to put it, because you want it to be thick enough to act like a book cover, but you don't want it so thick that it's like mega thick. Okay, and then all you need is your pages. Now, what I've done is I've already cut my pages into strips. I made these pages up by making a 3A size sheet on Photoshop. You can do it in Paint as well, and you basically take images that you like and that you want to be in your book. I've done this as a kind of science theme and basically dot them all along. You can do it as a completely blank book, and that's completely fine. All you do is work out how big you want your book to be, mark it on, draw a straight line across, and in that case I would recommend marking on when you want the page to finish, so how wide you want your page to be, so that when you're folding it, it is a lot easier. So that's all I've done. And then all you're going to do with your strip, because this is how you start it off, you leave a small section at the end of your first page. This is going to keep the pages inside the book cover. So what you're going to do is you're going to fold it. Start folding the pages so that they're going to match up. So your first page is going to fold so that you've got a right side and a right side together. And then this small section at the beginning, you're going to fold up into your page. That's a little bit big. So that your first section is going to look something like that. Okay, and then you fold it all the way along, so you can do what I've done here, which is where you've got a double page, and all you do is you fold it to meet the opposite side, and that's going to create a perfect line down the middle. I'll just show you that one, and then I'll pause the video and continue separately. So you could create it so it looks like that, so you'll have that in the center, and you're just going to do it all the way along your strips. And I'll show you the next part when I'm done that. Okay guys, so I've just folded all of my pages. They're all sitting here arranged. So some tips about when you're making up the pages if you're doing it as actual pages. At the beginning you want to put a single page, so something you're happy to just be sitting on its own, like this one I've got here of an eye. And then throughout the rest of it you've got to do 2 pages, so think of it as like if you're having a double page, make sure that they're together, and if you're going to have like 2 single pages, make sure that you're happy with those 2 lining up together. And then do double, you could do another double, and always at the end have a single, and there's a really important reason why. Okay, so I've got all my pages ready, and then I'm just going to talk you through the next bit, and then I'm going to pause again and come back to you. It's the easiest way to do it. So what you want to do is you want to line up all your pages and see that that's the order that you want them to go in. I messed up a tiny bit here, but I've fixed it and it's totally fine. So then what you want to do is at the end where there's a, remember I told you to leave the little bit of excess? You want to glue the previous page. You want to glue the previous page to that page, and then on the other one, like on the other side, you want to cut off the white bit. You've just got the extra white bit just in case something goes wrong, like in this situation where I realised that I had a little section which I actually needed an extra double page. So, and in that situation all you do is you work out where you've got like a couple of single pages and you snip it and then you put it in. so it works out completely fine. So you do that all the way along with all of your pages, so I will come back to you once I've done that, okay? So as you can see, I've done all that, so all the pages are all connected, so that's a really good start. So now what you want to do is make it up so that it's like a little pile of folded pages. This can take some time depending on how well you've folded the pages, so make sure you make the crease really good, or else this could take quite a while. And this will also give you a rough size of how big the book is going to be once you squish it, when you push it down. So you can see there, they're all together. So now what you want to do, and this does take a lot of time, but it is definitely worth it, is you're going to Pritt stick each of the pages really carefully together. So you're going to open up the crease here, you're going to put some Pritt stick in there and push it down. And then you're going to move on to the next one, and the next one, and the next one. You're going to go all the way along. And then what you're going to do, when it's a nice little bundle like that, is you're going to put a line of Pritt stick really thick along the edge. And once you've done that, I'll get back to you because this process takes a while. So when I come back, I'll show you what the whole thing looks like and show you all the pages in their full glory, okay? Okay everyone, so I have now got my book all completely stuck together with the glue at the side and joined at each point like so that you can open at each page like so. So while this is drying, because mine's still drying, I want to show you what to do for the cover. Now I messed up a little bit when designing my cover, but this is a learning thing, so it means that you guys can learn from my mistakes, and so that your books will get better and better. That's part of this kind of process. So what you want to do is you want to get a piece so that it's like a cover. So I just got one from the internet, which was like an old journal, made up to the same size, slightly bigger than the book, so that it would overlap, so it's like a proper cover. The only thing I forgot to do was to actually extend it a little bit further. It's big enough to fit the book in, as you can see. I'll pop that in there. So you can see it's going to fit it okay. But the thing I forgot to do is for the overlap, for this process, you need to have a decent enough overlap. So I just added on some brown paper so that I can still use the cover and the brown paper can act as the overlap. So then what you do is you fold down where the spine is for this book so that you can see that that's going to be what your cover and everything is going to be like. And then you cut out your cardboard like I spoke to you about before. You then take these, get some glue stick, pop some glue on them and line them up with the folds. This bit's really important to make sure that you are actually going to be seeing your book properly. Doop, 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 doop. Okay, that's one and two. And the reason that I do this is because then it means that at the spine there's actually going to be a bit more support for your book. Because I found that when I did it with just straightforward paper, it was just maybe a little bit too flimsy for supporting the book and the structure. Oh. The glue is not as sticky as I would like it to be, but it is the best glue for this because I tried it with PVA glue and it makes everything buckle and it makes everything kind of pucker, and that's just not what you want. So as much as it's not the best glue, it is the best for this project. So then what you want to do, once you've got it looking like this, you want to fold these edges so that they're against your book. So just run the glue along, edge of the book like so, and then you just fold it back on itself. I'll show you it once I'm finished, and you do it all the way along the edges. But remember at the top here, what you've got where the spine is, you're actually going to need to snip it. So you will just, that's too far along. Snip. And you're going to fold these down as well because that's going to help support the book at the ends as well. Hold that down, fold it over. This will also help to keep the pieces of cardboard in with the edges. So I'm just going to finish doing this and then I'll get back to you guys for the next step. Okay, so now you've got all your edges down, you've got the top bit folded in, you've got the bottom bit folded in, each side is now down, and that's what the cover looks like. As you can see, you've got my edges showing up, which is silly of me, but you've learned from my mistakes. So what you now want to do is you want to take your book and see these little flaps that I mentioned to keep clear earlier. This is what it's used for. Now what you want to have is some bits of paper. You can use wrapping paper, you can just use normal paper, you can make this as creative or as uncreative as you like. With one of my books, it might be this one. Yep, with this book I have a double page and then it goes into the book. I've got it as single pages, I've got it as just a bit of paper, patterned, whatever you like. But what you want to be doing is get the front of your book, and then you want to make sure that your book is the right way that you want the cover to go. So I want it to have it so that the best side is this one. You want to run your glue along the side of the excess bit, and then you want to carefully line it up on the inside of your book so that it's lying flat at where the spine would be, and you want to push it down. So that's you done on the first side. You then want to fold it over and you want to do the exact same process on the back. Now I find with these books that the more you make and the more practice you get, you definitely get a lot better at doing this. Because the first time I did this, it took me a lot longer than it is this time. But that's just because I did make about 5 books at the same time. And the better you get, the faster you get. So and then you want to squish it down really, really flat. Like so. And then you want to open it up again. So you can see you've got your little book. And then you want to take your paper. That's very good. You want to take your paper pages. You want to put a bit of glue on them. Like so. And you want to line up the sides so that you are going to cover up the paper that you've used to stick down the pages, and also the edges of the back of your book, so that it turns out like that. So it covers up the edges of the fold, and it also covers up the page that you used to cover your book. And you want to press it down really hard, you want to open up to the other side, and you want to do the exact same thing. Like so. Press it down, and that's you. There you have it. That's you made a book for your dolls with pages or as a diary or whatever you like, and you can make them in any shape or size. As you can see, this one's narrower than this one, and they work, it's the same exact principle. So I really hope this helps you guys. Go crazy with this. I'd recommend that once you've finished it, putting it under some heavy books just to help squish it down a little bit and make sure that the folds are really, really secure. But that's it. So I hope this helps you guys.